in your laning stage, get some damage. I think the way that's going to be effective is rolling Thunder plus Dawnbreaker ulti. You wait till he gets on top of somebody, you channel the full ulti, you get a stun follow-up and a lot of damage. So like Gunner's rolling Thunder or swap are great ways to start fights. Or slight chains could be another good way. Another thing, Theorycraft, 4 position Ember Spirit. It's been a while since we've seen it. The most recent changes to Ember are going to lower the cooldown of Sleight of Fist a little bit and up the damage, and it does more damage to creeps. So it's easier to secure range creeps with it. He started with a Blightstone, which is going to increase his physical damage by about 10%. So he's basically going to slap every 15 seconds for like 110 physical damage with a Blightstone, which is a pretty good amount of damage. And keep in mind that Death Prophet's way faster than Medusa in the safe lane, like a full 50 movement speed already. So a little bit like a slight chains from range plus a rundown from Death Prophet, that's actually a little scary for Medusa in the laning stage. Obviously Snake can help offset some of this, but it's a better dual lane last game. That's not hard to say, but it looks definitely more dangerous.
Well, they definitely needed a better lane than what they had in the first game. But I'm curious what the priority is really going to be. Is a lot of it just going to be trying to slow down the Medusa as much as possible?
Yeah, that's really important for sure. If you cannot slow down the Medusa, then she's just going to outfarm you. So the easiest way to do it is by being aggressive. And that's the cool thing about Forge Rumors drafts between last game and this game. They are going to be aggressive. And in fact, it looks like they're going to try lane.
Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely the way that you'd like to be if you're going to be very aggressive. But curious to see, are they going to be able to make this work? Are they going to be able to be as aggressive where they can, get the kills and it's not just, the general slowing? Because that's usually the plan, and it's going to leave Stabile all alone down here.
I mean, he's got the creep wave near the tower, which isn't bad. He's got 2 last hits already, which is fine. We'll see if Venge ends up sticking top. They're going to dive Ollie a little bit in the top lane, just doing a little pressure here. Getting him lower.
All right, we think the TP's come out now.
Okay, yep. So he will reset. They wanted to pressure Empyrean in the jungle. Empyrean has been playing great this series, by the way. He's definitely had a big improvement over last season where he played kind of like dead 5s. But he's been doing really good. Has them been feeding.
Yeah, it's also allowed the Dawnbreaker to get the level 2 online, which gets a little bit of that edge here. I'm curious about the middle lane, though, because this is not a fun lane to play against. When Pango has some options, but like, what's the best way to basically capitalize on this lane?
Well, in some ways, it's not terrible because the way the Viper wins the lane, right? He applies a lot of poison stacks. If Gunner just doesn't use Swashbuckle stupidly, he should be able to disengage once Ryoya stacks like 2-3 times on him, and then the damage you take is not that bad. The downside is then you can't also last hits. Like right now he's got 3 stacks, he's probably going to jump away here. He's probably going to...
Nah.
He's just going to eat the damage. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot.
But he didn't want to spend the mana, and he bought extra regen. So he will be at least partially zoned here, which is going to hurt his lane, but he should hypothetically be able to not die here as long as he's semi-careful. But he will get less gold. But once he gets 6, then the party happens, right? He's going to start setting things up for Dawnbreaker ulti. And they're fighting bottom, actually.
They are indeed. They're chasing after Bloody Sky, and they just need a little bit more damage, which they don't have.
Venge just hit level 2 there with the Wave of Terror, so...
Yeah, I was curious over in the mid lane. It felt like Gunner was being very, very aggressive. But do have that little bit of a chase down over here in this top lane. They still have the Icarus dive available if needed, so... just gonna try to burn through some of their regen.
Yeah, they did a good job there. That was a lot of Spirit Siphons, so he's gonna be on cooldown for a bit, but... as long as Gunner gets some gold and they can go back to jungle, he should be just fine here. Viper up to 7 denies, very important. It's going to mean that Pango's levels come out a lot slower here. Tries to go for a D-ward, does not get it, but he's going to go steal the enemy bounty rune to get a little bit of extra gold. So Gunner absolutely sacrificing himself a bit in this lane setup, but if he can get stuff done on the map, that's going to offset it. Viper is not the best lane rotator, very slow, needs to get a lot of attacks to get kills, but he's also very hard to gank, so...
Here over into the tree, going for that Starbreaker, but still going to be the first blood going over to Flay. And Xtabile now has to be very careful because he is very much alone, outnumbered, and they could try to go in for another blow. But they'll back off for now. They're happy with what they got.
It's hypothetically a good dual lane, the Venge and the Dawnbreaker, but it's not going to be perfect in this circumstance, unfortunately. Because Venge, again, just a little bit of a weak laner.
The Bushwhacker next? No, maybe they can turn this. Husky getting off a couple value clicks.
Flea's so ready to fight. I mean, he's got another stack of Tangos. He's got an 11 stick and a Fairy Fire, so gets the pressure in. But Dawnbreaker with Bracer as well as Soul Ring will be ready to go. He did actually pick up 1 point in Luminosity. Wants to get some heal from his attacks.
I think with the harassment that's coming out in this lane, it might not be the worst of the ideas here. It's interesting though, because like I'm used to seeing this lane as being very, very aggressive, and the tables have kind of turned around here. Kostabile though, it's going to be all right.
That was pretty interesting. He throws out the bushwhack. Kostabile cut one tree, and it happened to be the one that it tied to. It was weird. There were other trees it could have tied to, but I guess it was that one. So he saved himself from taking a lot of damage. Either way, he's basically throwing hammers just to get a last hit. That's a bad sign.
Look how low they both are up here. Oh, there we go. There's this light. I was hoping he could get Ollie too, but Freak does have to be careful here.
Works out. He's even holding the range creep here. Doesn't drag it with because he wants this to stack up. That's going to push the wave towards the tower, which means Deuce can't approach the creep wave. He's going to have to hit neutrals instead, which is the bad circumstance. So this dual lane actually working in the context of Deuce being very pressurable. And Death Prophet being a really rare range tier that actually is really, well, a lot of range tiers are high movement speed, but he's also like good at fighting. So he's like, I don't know, it's kind of perfect circumstances. He can easily trade out Ollie, which is going to make Ollie's life a lot harder.
Well, Death Prophet seems to be highly on the rise recently, seeing a lot of teams taking advantage of the fact that she does seem pretty well-rounded. A little bit of the net there from the camp, but Lee just walking away.
Mid lane's going pretty fine for Gunner. He's got 27 last hits. Some of that's surely jungle camp, so it's not worth his. I'm sure going to be behind Vipers, but.
I was thinking rotation though over to the mid lane. You can see the Rolling Thunder coming out from Gunner. Z-Freak making his own rotation. Just stun locking Rioya. That's going to be so frustrating. And with a little help from Z-Freak, we'll ensure that they get the kill.
And now he's only about 220 gold behind Viper, so that basically offsets thing. And that's a low cooldown ultimate. 80 seconds is not bad. So. And in fact, he's going to turn this into a rotation. He does get spotted by a ward. Makes sense he wants to make something happen here, but maybe clear the stacked large camp would be a decent option. That way they don't have to keep trying to contest pulls here. And yeah, that's what Gunner's going to do. Wave of Terror.
Still value.
A little decent AoE. Pops regen as well, so doesn't lose that much here. Yeah, he'll just help clean this up. Then it'll make it easier for Dawnbreaker to get net worth.
I mean, that's the nice thing about, you know, in the middle lane, you walk away, but it's a Viper, right? He's not going to be able to take your tower very quickly like a DK or a Death Prophet or whatnot, so.
Or even to push very well. Nether Toxin takes a lot more skill points to kill a creep wave than it used to, so you just kind of leave him in his lane, let him hit his creeps, and no big deal.
I see Empyrean put off a little bit of damage here using the Exorcism.
Very nice of him to cut the trees for them.
One more hit, there it is. There is a kill on Z-Freak's courier, but I think he's all right with it because they should be able to put a decent amount of damage over onto this tower. Still have a little bit less than half of this Exorcism up. They will afford it, though. They do have the Cardi.
It's me close. He could definitely tank a bit, but yeah, he's going to heal anyways. Nice. Very good. All right, so tower's dead. Perfect. Now they get to be aggressive. Deuce is pretty effective on the Dire side. Usually there's a lot of camps together. Ben's going to die bottom, looks like.
They chased quite a ways for this.
Make him work for it, that's good.
Space. And they still have the tower up too. Although you can see there's a lot of heroes coming out from the side of TOOBASED that are starting to converge on this bottom tower.
Yeah, they need to offset their map disadvantage here. Z-Freak catches up levels in the mid lane. The difference between last game and this one is that he actually did something before this point in the game last game, where he's catching up on levels. He's had a really good laning stage so far.
Again, we're big Zac fans here. We're not just bashing. We're not bashing Zac. We're bashing the Bounty Hunter.
The Bounty did not look good. That's for sure.
It had some issues.
Gunner not rushing Diffusal, actually. It goes for Arcane, queuing up Blink. Knows that he is the initiator of his team.
Rolling Thunder again. They see themselves. Rioya, they've got the Solar Guardian popping right on down there. That's going to be dead Rioya. And that is 5 heroes on the side of Zoomers over in this middle lane.
So yeah, Viper can win the lane, but no one cares later. It just doesn't matter. Like, he's survivable. He's got a Wraith Band, he's got a Wand, he's got a Fairy Fire, he's got 2 points in Corrosive Skin, but that's a lot of damage. That's a lot.
That's all I could hear of is Flax doing that voice.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, Ollie. They were hoping maybe they could find this Medusa, but they were not able to.
So Zoomers are basically just outmaneuvering their opponents this game. This is what they wanted to do in the last match. Looking to see if we can get an arena blood here.
Oh yeah, Bloody Sky, he wants this for sure. Pin the Death Prophet over to the side. There's not too much that they can do to protect Moo at this point. So just gonna Spirit Siphon, try to get some more damage, try to use those spells, but eventually we'll pop.
That was well done by Moo. He actually used Spirit Siphon on it, the hero and the creep.
Oh, it's going to be a dead Ryoya again.
That's so rough. Good rotation. He gets the Death Prophet, but the return kill. Costabile is now the highest net worth hero in the game. 2 kills. Only 43 creeps is the name, but hey, he's helping out in the right places. So Viper has sort of won his lane, but now he's died 3 times. He's still only level 7, has picked up treads, so he's going to be a little tankier, but he still looks really vulnerable.
This is not a hero that you want to fall behind, especially when you have something like a Medusa who's going to need time to come online.
And they get the mid tower. Ollie not able to deny that, so they've lost their safe lane and their mid. The aggression continues almost 10 minutes in the game. Husky should be able to get 6 soon, which will help offset any of the team fight simply TOOBASED throws out. And they're going for Echo Saber on Dawnbreaker. Interesting skill, but he's actually maxing Luminosity second. Not messing around with more Starbreaker levels, which is a little interesting, but it's going to make it so that he can, his sustain's going to be a lot better, certainly in fights.
Use the exorcism in the bottom lane. Z-Freak just going to go and remnant himself away. He managed to get the Viper Strike off, though, so Z-Freak will fall. A couple of these Spirit Siphons getting dropped. There's a lot of people here, though, trying to defend, but you do have some pincering action coming from the side. As Gunner rolling Thunder forward.
I knew he was going to buy.
Oh, they go right for Ryoya. Poor Ryoya has not been allowed to play this game. He has just been stunned by Gunner non-stop, it feels, with that rolling Thunder.
So that cost him just under 400 gold to buy back, but I think it's probably fine. The experience alone right now is really value when he's slightly behind. Level 3 chains, if he can get the slight off. I mean, he threw the Remnant down as if he had like a big mana pool, like Embers usually do. And I was like, he's going to buy back for sure. He's definitely coming back. Good escape by Gunner.
Silence coming out, and they do have the Solar Guardian. He's going to drop right back in, stand next to Moo. Did plant a tree, and they try to just buy a bit more time. But this tower will go down. Needs one more hit. Stabile just going to run as they are just chasing down. Good silence coming out. The slide coming out from Z-Freak. On top of it, they'll take down Bloody Sky. Ryoya here taking a lot of damage. The Sunray trying to keep him alive a little bit longer. Does get the Viper Strike off. Need a little bit more damage to take down this Viper, though, as he's bottling through. Z-Freak finding the Phoenix over the back line. Gunner using the Tumbler Toy will find a kill, and that's going to be a dead Phoenix and a dead tower. So a very worthwhile fight here for the Zoomers.
The skirmish is just very different this game compared to the previous one. The previous one, it was basically like stun plus Mortimer's Kisses. That pretty much always gets a kill, right? And Viper can do decent damage, and he is relatively tanky here. But it's just not the same kill threat as we saw in the last match. So for Zoomers is just kind of outmaneuvering them. They've got great setups, whether it is Mars ulti comes down and they offset some of the damage with Solar Guardian, or it's they do Rolling Thunder with Solar Guardian aggressive. It just gives them a lot of options here, and they're really playing to their hero strengths, and now they're on the enemy side of the map with a 4K advantage. This is how Zoomers wants to play, and how they wanted to play all 3 games. They did it the first game, didn't work second game, and third game is working.
Well, this is the one that really counts, right? When you're all tied up. So every single game in the DPC, really, really important to make sure that you get that victory. But some pincering action coming down to the bottom lane. Gunner will open up, start poking away at Bloody Sky. Silence coming out with the Spirit Siphon plus the stun. They'll take the Mars off the board.
Nice rotation. Good hero to kill. Delay his Blink Dagger. That means that's the hero that's supposed to be getting stuff done.
They're really like poking away at Ollie here. This is difficult for this Medusa. She's not where she wants to be in terms of farm, and she's just constantly being tailed.
And he's going to do it again. That's great. Oh, they're actually going to get set up. He's not done. He's got another one soon.
Look at the TPs that they are forcing to protect Ollie.
Oh no, Ryoya's in a bad spot.
Oh dear. Again. Just rolling around and getting hammered. And there's Cancel over here on the side too. Lots of bounces here. Wow, all right. It's gonna be a dead play, and it's a good arena coming out from Bloody Sky, and they get that Stone Gaze, so they have to turn away, but they do have the Exorcism up. Egg will go off on the back lines, but the rest of the team is just too far away, and they're not comfortable going forward in this. Not with the Exorcism. It's way too much damage. Again, Gunner jumping forward here with the Shield Crash. Spear away. So we'll buy a little bit more time. There's Gunner clicking down. Oh, they'll end up losing Ollie. Bloody Sky next to fall. Gunner finally will die, but Imperium just getting shredded by the rest of the side of the 4 Zoomers.
They're playing their heroes so well here. Husky waiting in the perfect position. He gets swaps off after some team fight things. It does not look fun to play Viper at all this game. Just a massive amount of damage continues to kill him. just not survivable enough, and his ability to respond just doesn't feel like it's there. It's like he needs like an Omni Knight behind him or some kind of a Batten or heal. It's like there aren't a lot of good solutions. It's not like he could have bought too many other items to increase his survivability. Maybe a cloak, maybe some bracers or something, but tough game for Ryoya against these teamfight combos that just keep killing him. He needed like a save or something. Some kind of ally to keep him alive, but he hasn't been strong enough to survive this, and now his hero just feels really, really behind.
Is this a situation where just in general Viper should have some sort of a steroid, or is it just the way that they're playing so aggressively against him?
It's both, certainly. Yeah, the heal will help offset it, certainly. If you're in this game circumstance, you'd love to have like an Omni walk up and purify you, just to give you like a little bit of a barrier so that you can like cast your ulti and attack 3 times before you die, instead of just die.
Yeah.
Because then you're really not hoping. So it could be positioning as well, but 4 Zoomers is very mobile, and they won the laning stage, and they are not
They're looking
slowing down.
They're going right for Ryoya again. The Rolling Thunder. This poor Viper is going to have nightmares of just getting pinballed around. My goodness.
I mean, that's their frontliner. They're also pressuring Mars, too, delaying his blink.
They're going after Flay. On the hunt, Z-Freak, of course, just gliding through. Manages to go and connect, but they can't quite get over into that corner where Flay is. So he will survive. They haven't taken a single tier 1 on the side of TOOBASED right now.
Yep.
That's rough.
It is really rough. Well, that's what happens when you lose the lane. Ollie does have some items. It's not that many, though. He has been chased around the jungle a couple times, so that's going to delay his farm speed. He hasn't felt comfortable to sit around. He left the laning stage pretty early as well. That did not help either. And in the meantime, Zoomers are getting basically everything they want.
I feel like Z-Freak has just been tailing Ollie non-stop. And like they even have really deep wards placed behind the tier 2 in the top lane. Like they're just keeping tabs on all the movement and punishing them whenever they can.
Yeah. They ping out the Blink Star from Mars. That is going to be available here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Saving the bottle. Moo did buy a stupid fast shard, by the way. We are 16 minutes in the game. He's already got a shard. But he's also got BOTs, Hooded Defiance, double nulls, and a soul ring. So he's got all the mana he needs. See if they go for the D ward any. Oh, they actually did use the sentry in a different place. Does he get more? Okay, he does. Sentries to the rescue. That'll be an easy D ward.
Again.
Oh no.
Wash, rinse, repeat. This poor Viper.
It's just Gunners owning this game, basically.
Yes.
We just struggled a little bit in the lane, and then they just did a little team communication, said, let's kill this guy. And they're just making it happen. Supposed to be like, could die here. This is one scary moment.
Nice bushwhack. The setup should be able to just pin over to the tier E, follow up with the sharpshooter. And one more hit. There we go.
Goes to Ollie. Well, that's a lot of gold.
Very much needed.
Very much needed. 900 gold for him is going to help get him closer to competing with these other cores net worths, but
oh, that opens the door for Roche.
Exactly. So even though he dies, not the end of the world. He was hot top net worth, so it was definitely a huge kill, but Roche is going to fall. They've got illusions as well to spot rotations. Viper can't even cross the path of this illusion because he's still terrified about dying.
And this time Ollie can't just zip on in and go and grab himself a free Aegis, right?
Yep, no glory this time. Get to the glory of watching tier 1 tower die, though.
They needed that too. You know, we take those.
They did. So Aegis gets picked up, goes on Pangolier. He's the guy that needs to cast his ultimate to be effective. He's got Shard as well, roll up to protect himself from some disables. Use that to stop getting caught from a Hoodwink stun, maybe Mars Spear as well if he's fast enough, and then guarantees ulti gets off. And they're definitely ready to fight. Z-Freak's going to play in the area.
There is an arena, though, going off right away over to the Kasabi lady. He needs to stay alive here, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. In fact, he falls. First one in this fight. Stone Gaze coming out from Ollie. Gunner, though, looking for the opening, has the roll up. He's going to do the Rolling Thunder as he just bounces back and forth. This Dusa has nothing left here. He's forced to pop the wand, but they have plenty of damage. Spirit Siphon coming out from Moo. They're not even looking at Dusa. They're going to figure that, you know, Z-Freak will be able to finish him off. It's going to be Gunner, and the follow-up now over onto the Bloody Sky will ensure that there is no Mars who survives.
Nice by TOOBASED to kill the Dawnbreaker again, though. That was still pretty solid, but yeah, they're able to respond as they should, and instantly they're across the map already. Pangolier already on the top side of the map looking for a solo kill here. That's going to force Phoenix to egg here if he doesn't live for 5 seconds.
I don't think he wants to go for the egg. It's just the sunrise. All right, there they go for the egg. Z-Freak is here, but he is going to get obliterated.
Nice
So
stun by
very
Flea.
worthwhile.
Flea bought Shard already on Hoodwink, interesting. The decoy illusion with a little stun. It used to be really bad, I've heard it's better now. But I haven't seen it in action too much. It's kind of good this game in the sense that they have really weak map control due to Zoomers playing so aggressive. So this would be a decent way to like scout high ground vision stuff without putting himself in danger. Because there's definitely going to be a period of the game where they don't really want to take 5v5 team fights because they're too far behind. At least not until they get BKB on Viper. That's a great item from Essence Ring. Perfect for what he needs.
It's interesting how Constabule has been falling at like one of the first people in a bunch of these fights, but they still have enough damage coming out from Gunnar, from Moo, to turn the tide on this.
I mean, Death Prophet is definitely one of the highest damage heroes in the game. You don't really need items, you just need levels. So if you can get survivable, she works great.
This is nice. They did pick up the BKB though now for Constabule, so it's going to be a bit more difficult to stun lock him this time around.
Yeah, he definitely needed that. It's getting punished too much. It's kind of like playing against Spectre. You want to go kill him because otherwise he's going to jump to his allies. And then if you do the opposite, he always comes with. So you can do a 5v1 and then everything looks beautiful. And he picks up the shard real fast too. So double immunity here for him. So many shards early. It's interesting.
It's like Valve wanted us to play the game this way.
Yep.
Silence comes out. This is not looking great for
Definitely
Impune.
kill.
Just have to click away, and there goes the Phoenix. Do the Solar Guardian coming in hot. They want to try to get the kill onto Bloody Sky, and they'll be able to go right into that arena, smack down, and that's the end of Mars.
And they smoke. They're going fast. Ryoya's like, oh shit.
Yeah, look at Ryoya's like, no, 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 no.
Oh shit, it's Viper, but the other way around.
Yeah, pretty much.
They are just so ready to play quick. It is fun watching them play this play style. Just say, screw it, we're not going to play conventional heroes and conventional carries. We're just going to play ultra fast and try to make that work for us.
Oh, just a little bit off the mark there, but I'll be able to clean up the creep wave.
It doesn't cost them that much, though, because they did the smart thing, right? They only brought like 3 heroes top. They left Moo on the bot lane for a while extra, so he pushed out that wave. They basically pushed in 3 waves. They still have full map control. Obviously, a long time till Roche comes up again. Not that they don't have still have Aegis, but pushing the top tier 2s definitely the next place to go. It's going to allow them to open up Shrine or Outpost, and then simply TOOBASED basically just can't contest Roche ever again without some pickoffs first.
There's the pressure over on the tier 2, popping the fresh exorcism, and you can see they just need to farm up right now. Deuce is just hanging close to that tower, staying over towards the triangle area, but they do need to respond. They need to go home.
Oh, Moo's in his head,
No, they go really, really far. They've dove in right past everything. Bloody Sky not looking too healthy. Even drops the arena, but Moo's fine, just hanging out here. He's just going to teleport away. They have
To
nothing
the creep
to
wave.
cancel it.
He's back, baby.
Right there.
Dude, that was such a sick play by Moo. He didn't have any vision. He just said, like, there's going to be a hero here. He blinks forward, gets the silence off, ends up getting a kill, then blinks. What a pro move, dude. That was cool. Forces Mars Arena, too. Straight pick.
They want it, but Arroyo is already out. He's like, no, no. But, oh, Aegis does get reclaimed. Ollie now forced to use a Stone Gaze. They're waiting patiently. Look at the way that they're approaching this, though. I like this. I like this. Gunner popped forward, finds Ollie, rolls forward over onto Medusa with the Solar Guardian plus the Silence. Plenty to follow up here. Starbreaker doing so much damage, they'll be able to just rip apart this Medusa.
That was really cool. And Gunner's so confident. Like, he's like, I don't need Diffusal Blade to kill this guy. I just need to be the guy taking fights. He's basically playing Spirit Hero-esque playstyle here, and it's really cool to see. He just knows, like, their lineup just combos really well together. He just has to find the right guy, and there's going to be a Solar Guardian or an Ember Spirit follow-up or whoever else. It's really fun.
And they just don't stop going here. Look at this.
That was actually really dangerous. If the Spirit Siphon kept going, it would have feared him and interrupted his TP. But yeah, they keep going.
It's just insane the way that they just keep running over at TOOBASED. They have this momentum, right? It's 23 to 8, 8K net worth lead. They have almost all of their towers over on the side of Zoomers, and TOOBASED is struggling. You know, Deuce is trying her best to find whatever farm she can, but the map is very, very tight right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, that's how they're playing. That's how they like playing. Basher next for Pengo. Rolling Thunder duration talent is what he wants. It's very effective.
Okay, all right.
middle tower
Man, he's
is under attack.
he's
Like a
really
false
pushing his
start
limit.
right there.
Gunner's playing so well. He's just trying to like break stuns. Roll up really does protect him well for that. Gunner's been tricked. Ooh, that's pretty good. Were they gonna put that on Ember Spirit maybe?
No, but it feels like they're gonna smoke. Yeah, there it is. 5-man smoke. And creeping over towards the enemy side of the map. Smoke popping immediately on Gunner, jumping forward, finds himself a Phoenix, will immediately roll. And try to put some damage over onto Bloody Sky. They've got the vision, they already used the Solar Guardian, there's a stun coming out, and that's a dead Mars. Who else can they grab though? Looks like no one else on the side of TOOBASED because they've all just run away as fast as possible.
I mean, their team fight advantage that simply TOOBASED might have had in the draft is just basically gone. They're too far behind in net worth at this point. They need Mars to like land combos with like some egg follow-ups and Deuce ultis or whatever. They need to force like, they need to have some damage to be able to take an engagement, but they're too far behind on net worth for those to look good in most circumstances. Rio is relatively survivable at this point. BKB's got Dragonlance. He's not going to die easy anymore, so his kill option is off the map, but Gunner just keeps finding the right heroes.
It's felt like this particular series has been a very snowbally sort of thing, right? Because game number 1 very convincingly over to the side of Zoomers, and game number 2, TOOBASED just wiping the floor.
It's kind of the nature of the playstyle that Zoomers is playing, basically. They are playing a playstyle where they're supposed to do well on the laning stage, and then they're supposed to pressure the crap out of their opponents and not let them play regular Dota, and push them off balance. And they're doing a really good job of it. Game 2, they just didn't win the laning stage very well, and then their early skirmishes did not go well. And it was like their lineup was entirely based. So in the sense that it was snowbally last game, it's basically because Zoomers is like boom or bust. It either works and they get ahead and they're going to start doing pretty well, or they're going to fall flat and have a really tough game, which is what we saw last game. So with that said, simply TOOBASED has played really solid Dota today, but they're definitely being very outmaneuvered in this game. At least they were before, and now it's just like an overwhelming level advantage.
Man, the setup for that could have been so good. You said boom or bust. You could have said zoom or bust.
That's true, I could have.
That would have been way better.
Zoomer bust?
Yeah.
Not even zoom or bust?
Oof.
That would have been so good.
Yeah, that's okay. Scotty is completed now for the Medusa, so that does give them a little bit more damage, a little bit more capabilities in these fights. It's
anti-healing is the big thing. It's going to be really good against Mu if they can commit to trying to kill him. Gunner looking for heroes. He does spot Empyrean. Oh, goes for the Deuce though.
Goes for the Deuce. Plus the Solar Guardian having that global presence, very important as the follow-up with the Phoenix. They've got the Sun Ray in place, trying to keep her alive for long enough, trying to keep that mana online on top of everything else. Rooted into place, does have the Stone Gaze though. Rolling Thunder though, coming through from Gunner, making sure that they can get the kill. It's going to be another kill on Empyrean.
It's too much in the end. They must have saw him on the creep wave or something. They know who they want every single time. And I just love how fast Gunner gets across the map. Like, we were just down there in the jungle, and look where he is right now. He's already in the enemy jungle. He's like, de-warding? Nah, I'm not going to let you do that at all. This is such good play by Gunner that legitimately helps his supports so much. Because as soon as they show cores on the bot lane, the supports say, okay, finally, I can get in my jungle and get a little de-warding done, but because Gunner runs there instantly, they get to protect their sentries, their wards, and that's stuff that means simply TOOBASED still can't get on the map to actually contest. And now Roche is respawning, so with them still not gaining vision there to a really satisfactory degree, it's like their chances of contesting are even worse. So
there it is.
Gunner's just owning this game.
Yeah, he's playing very fast, and it's looking good. Gunner, again, we find the hero, go after him here, hold into place with those chains, Spirit Siphon, stun into, there's the fear that we talked about.
Wants all the kills. Quickening Charm as well, so he's going to get around even quicker now. What a game from our Pango player this match.
It was interesting because when we watched the draft, it was a little bit confusing. You know, you looked at all these heroes that were coming up, you're like, okay, well, they can do this offlane, they can do this offlane, they can do this Miz, and it just ended up working out really well, despite the fact that I feel like they had to adjust. I don't think that was the original plan. I could be wrong, though. They might have been playing 4D chess.
Man, there's so many heals coming from Luminosity, actually. Every 3-hit heal. He's got a Scotty of his own. Great against Dusa. Great against Viper. Like, this, I don't see how they take fights anymore. Outside of, like, Stone Gaze and maybe, like, Phoenix Egg at the same time, they just have all the items they want.
Who's getting this shard? Because Dawnbreaker's just got it in her inventory.
Z-Freak gets it on the Ember Spirit. Good for him. Venge already had one. Was he the last one? Because I was like a support getting this is like, yeah, he was the last shard actually.
Yeah, they were picking it up early, and they're gonna try to grab themselves Flea here. Went for that sharpshooter, trying to just get a little bit more distance, but not going to be enough.
Squirrel can only do so much.
I mean, she's a pretty impressive squirrel in the first place.
She is. She does some fancy things. Gem's up. Venge is level 14. So he's just clearing the map. Great hero for Gem dewarding. Two base kind of has to sit together, farm the same general places on the map. They can't just retreat to their base yet. So for now, they just get spread out and out-farmed. And again, Costabile doesn't even have to be here. As long as he's got ultimate, he can be anywhere on the map hitting creeps.
Careful, Ollie. Showing on the wave here. I feel bad. You look at Ryoya's items. This poor guy.
I mean, they're the right items by all means, but yeah, he wishes he was more farmed.
Yeah, that's not how he envisioned this going, for sure.
He's not that far behind net worth-wise of the enemy cores, but Zoomers just have such utter map control. The Dawnbreaker advantage is a really big deal. The fact that he can be anywhere, that's just 3 of their heroes run around ganking all the time. Costabile is constantly hitting creeps. Someone else is usually pushing creep waves. Simply 2-base can't even like map control.
That's something that they desperately need when you have something like a Medusa, right? Because that was the whole concern, is that Medusa starts to get too big, they're going to have some issues, but she just hasn't hit that critical mass yet, and Zoomers are...
Same thing again.
Same place, too, feels like. Silence, so the Guardian, again, Empyrean, the one who tries to babysit, tries to buy more time here. That Spirit Siphon Fear is going to be the Stone Gaze. They have to be careful. Egg popping over on the back lines. The TP is coming out, but the Fear, it's going to make it so that they can't complete that TP. So that's a very dead Medusa. This is not looking good for Empyrean. Tries to Icarus dive away, and he's not able to.
It's like the second they see Dusa, they're like, let's go! They just like blink, swashbuckle, start the roll. And the roll was not very effective. Ollie did a great job dodging, but...
Oh, they found Ryoya again. I don't think they have quite... Oh, they get the stun off, though. He's not going to be able to complete that.
The bash.
It's now after Bloody... And look at this. Stabile just slowly climbing towards Ryoya, using that hammer. Needs to get the final hit. There it is, as they chase Bloody Sky all the way into his base, underneath his tower. Oof.
It's fun to watch, I gotta say. It's fun to watch teams do like weirder or different playstyles, and
oh, for sure.
Yeah, it feels like Dota has been a little bit formulaic in the sense that, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing because there's a lot of variety in heroes, but everybody, you get those hard carries. It's pretty consistent, but watching Zoomers do something a little bit different is really fun. These like alternative carries that can tempo, but also provide some carry potential. It's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I would say that's definitely, you know, it's always been like this. Innovation comes from the teams that are willing to try different things. They're the ones who set the meta, whereas the other teams, you know, they might play very well, but they don't necessarily try anything new, and therefore they're stuck and stagnant.
Dude, that spin is a lot of damage.
It is indeed. I want someone to explain this cow thing to me, though. I don't understand where that comes from.
Wait, if 4 Zoomers close this one out, you're gonna have a good question to ask.
Yeah, oh, I hope someone asks that on the panel. I bet Cap will ask it, right?
You might.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to go and hit up on Twitter and ask about it.
All they got to do is win this fight, and then the world will know the answer to this stupid question.
All right, you leave my question alone, okay? I'm just curious.
Dude, look at that heal.
They took time.
Oh.
They took time. Oh, whoa, whoa. All right, back and forth there. Thanks to the hammer. Stabile needs to be careful. They'll still have the Aegis, so they'll be able to pop it the first time. The question is, can they do it a second? They're already getting position with that bushwhack. They'll be able to go land it. Z-Freak, though, throwing his body forward, will get speared back. Sharpshooter connect. Oh, a little bit of some crazy angles there. Zoomer's going to back off now. Yeah, looks like now that they don't have the Aegis, they're just going to kick back again, continue with the map control until they find an opening.
A little surprised Husky didn't swap there. I mean, I get they didn't want to pop BKB and Costabile because that would have felt like a waste as well, but they just lost Aegis. I mean, if they swap him and he's low HP, he can heal on creeps, and it would slow, I don't know. It's just, it felt like a little bit of a waste. Maybe they're worried that a fight would happen afterwards and it would be too bad to not have swap, but swap's pretty low cooldown, 40 seconds, so that just seems kind of like a mistake. Maybe they're worried about Gem or something. Here's that damage. He goes forward. He's going to lifesteal off the creeps, which looks great. Throws the hammer, gets speared back, jumps halfway to his hammer afterwards, which gets him back in there. And then they probably just should have swapped him. But they didn't. So he loses Aegis, and now we're going to go back to a little bit more of a passive moment. But Simply 2-based, pops smoke, and they are on the map looking for the fight now. There's no Aegis, so they're like, well, this is a decent option.
Oh, they do find Gunnar over here.
Gunnar finds the whole team,
Gunnar finds the whole team, but again, he should be able to rolling on Rolling Thunder on through. Z-Freak nearby. Soul Guardian, like we talked about, giving them that presence all over the map. Ryoya still trying to find the opening. Do manage to go and grab Moo here on the side. They've used the Viper Strike to roll on through. It's like they're not going to be able to do enough to the Death Prophet. Gunner's still just chasing after whoever he can try to get. Does have his eyes over here onto the Mars, so they'll take down Bloody Sky Moo, jumping forward with that blink. It's going to be the Disarm of Silence again over here onto the Medusa. They need to protect her, they need to keep her alive, but they don't have anyone else nearby, so they will end up losing the Medusa. Ollie will fall as they chase through the trees after Flea. They want the squirrel, they've got the ghost fish chasing after him, but feels like a distraction as they'll turn their attention back over to the base. That's a very dead period. A lot of damage coming out now. They want to just finish off Ryoyo, but beautiful bushwhack, but they need more than that. That's only going to delay the inevitable as they eventually get the kill on Ryoya. And they bought back on Empyrean, but he can't go forward without the rest of his team. The Mars is going to be up in about 15 seconds.
Just great dive there. The confidence that Gunner showed this game is really impressive, I gotta say. He just ran into the whole enemy team knowing like, oh, you're not gonna stun me, I'm fine. This is a perfect Pango game. Lane sucked, but that's fine. We'll make kills happen. And even though they messed up their combo with Dawnbreaker, not a huge deal. Mars pops a BKB. His ultimate doesn't really profit ultimately.
Gotta hit that Rax one more time, boys.
Moo's had some kind of goofy itemization, but he's been playing really good too. 14-1 and 14 on Moo. Everybody on the Zoomers this game. So good. You know, I agree with Kyle.
Are you gonna just curse them like that, dude?
But Ollie just said he thinks he's gonna win this game.
You need to have confidence, because if you enter into something and you say, I'm going to lose, you will lose.
That's not true.
What are you talking about?
That's superstition.
No, I'm pretty sure if you enter with a loser's mentality, it's going to affect you.
It will affect your likelihood of win-losing, but
there are actual stats on that. If you
I'm sure it's going to like lower your win rate by 5. I mean, we see it in ranked games all the time. Everybody sees it.
So I don't
it's not guaranteed. That's all. It's just going to help.
But the probability is higher.
For sure. They use.
Yes,
yeah.
that's what I was going for.
I see.
Double damage now over on Gunner. He's going to regroup with the rest of the team. They take down that tier 2. And just shoving in the waves.
Who's almost got a refresher orb so he can use the Spirit Siphon 10 times on somebody.
My god.
Looking forward to that. Plus ulti, finish ulti again. That also seems quite good.
Yep.
No BKB on him though. Yeah, really not too worried about the enemy disables, I suppose. Due to the Viper being behind.
Just waiting for that opportune moment. They are clustered towards this top area over on the side of TOOBASED. They have so much control. There is a Rosh up if they wanted to go for it, too. Surprised that they haven't opted.
It's an Ags. Would be really good on Venge. Gunner would probably not be into it. He doesn't really need the shield crash stuff.
No? Rolling Thunder, jumping forward here with the Solar Guard. They're trying to push forward here. Step back, nice landing over here onto the Medusa. They're trying to blow her up as fast as possible, and they really have controlled her quite well. In fact, one more hit should be due. They'll take down Ollie. The egg does indeed pop with the arena, and they'll get Bloody Sky. They'll end up losing Z-Freak. Everybody's sitting very, very low on the side of 4 Zoomers, but they just don't have enough damage to finish them off. Now Empyrean running for his life. They've got a Yules, though. They should be able to find themselves a kill on this Phoenix. And indeed they do, and that is going to open the doors into the base.
Gunner squirrel
Gunner still wants it. Where are you at, Flea? Oh, so close. Almost managed to grab me. Yeah, look at that ping. It's like, oh, gosh dang it.
That was really close. I mean, they managed to kill Dusa, full to nothing, and he doesn't even get his ulti off. Did pop BKB, I believe, but yeah, no Stone Gaze, unfortunately. Makes the fight a lot harder. Oh, that heal is very powerful.
They just bypass move, thinking like, let's just go for the tier 4s here. But with that fortification, we'll force them back. What's going on over here, Gunner? All right, you're being cheeky.
He did. He just killed it anyways for no reason. Oh, this could cost him actually.
Yeah, no, I think he's all right. I think he's okay. But do have to be a bit careful here. You don't want that hubris to cost you something.
He's got a lot of regen.
Position, looking for the bushwhack, does manage, and that's the Stone Gaze coming out with the Scotty. Lots of damage here. They still have, good swap here coming out from Husky. He's going to end up being the one who has to fall for this. Silence gets dropped. They'll follow up. The chase is on. They want Ollie, but there it is. There's the BKB. They'll go and throw down the arena, buying them some more time here. Nice spear over onto two. Coming over Bloody Sky, but they need more damage because they're just too danky here. A little bit more damage needed. Constabulate chasing after Rioyas, just trying to bash away over here onto the side. Who is going to try to get out. Nice stun here coming out from the Starbreaker. Oh, with a break coming out. Bloody Sky, they want this kill. They'll be able to find it, and they'll take down Constabulate. My goodness. I bet they wish they had that Aegis. Gunner still, you know, alive and kicking. Z-Freak gonna get a little cheeky here, trying to get these lights off, trying to get just enough damage. Is forced back, though. Gunner rolling right back in. He is not done yet. They'll get the kill on Rioya. They'll find a kill on Flea. They want Bloody Sky. He's trying to chase after him, trying to get the right angle. As there's going to be the buyback coming out from Rioya. The egg will indeed pop. And Z-Freak and Gunner, they just aren't ready to quite leave. Like, look at that look of concentration coming off from them. My God, those boys are not blinking at all.
Oh man, it's really fun watching Gunner play this game, I gotta say.
Look at Zach's just laughing to himself over here.
I mean, yeah, they're just being like super obnoxious, like blinking into he just like blinked into enemy heroes and did sleight of fist because he's like, oh, you can't catch me. I mean, their stun options are literally spear and bushwhack. Good luck on that one. Not easy. So they've been able to just be really obnoxious in the fight. Constabulate did have survivability problems a bit there against the Viper, and dealing with the Scotty is a little annoying too. But that's Megas, so they're sitting pretty good right now.
Honestly, just take the Roche at this point, boys. Take the Roche and then finish up. Like, you've got the Ags now and Husky. Like, he got...
Oh, he did buy one. Okay.
He did get his own Ags, yeah.
He did lose gem. That's the only downside, but they can just buy a new gem.
Yeah. Just never have to walk away from your computer now, because even on your death timer, you're still playing. Oh, my goodness. All right, so this Roche should go easily over to the side of Zoomers. And then we should see them make their final assault. We've got the Ags, we've got the Aegis, got the cheese. Everything a growing Pango needs.
Who ends up with the Ags? Pango? Okay, Pango did take it. Yeah, his right-click damage is not that high. It's good with DD right now, but that's fine. More shield crashes and bad slows, damage, things like that.
Jump forward again, poking away over at Rioya. It's the Exorcism on Moo. Dance around, a couple slides coming out from Z-Freak. Oh wow, that swashbuckle plus Constabulate equals dead. Very clearly here. And Gunner going right onto the back lines. These ghostly ladies just chewing through the buildings as this is going on. Moo's got his eyes on the prize. Ollie, though, okay, the managed to go and they put down the arena. They've got, oh, the good swap, though, coming out from Venge will allow them to continue to kite. And they'll be able to take down Venge the first time, but there's still plenty of damage. Buybacks coming out now from the Mars. Everybody's just being held in place. They'll end up losing the Medusa. They'll end up losing Rioya. And they're looking to get it. Yeah, the GG gets called.
All right, confident Zoomer wins. I was a little worried for them during game 2. I was like, oh man, this would be really embarrassing if they lost this series, but they just tried some weird stuff in game 3. They're like, all right, let's go back to, let's play something a little bit